Hello there! What is going on, everyone? We are back with another Star Trek Starships Collection unboxing from Fanhome's official Starships Collection subscription. This is a model where you can sign up, and every month you're going to get another Starship at your door. I am a little bit behind. I have had lots to catch up on. I've been pretty busy this year, and as a result, I have let these things stockpile, and now I've got four, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4 ships to unbox. We're going to be looking at the U.S.S. Excelsior from Star Trek Picard, also from Picard, the U.S.S. Intrepid, and the U.S.S. Harlan, and from Lower Decks, the U.S.S. Archimedes. Now, Picard does have a lot of ships in this particular collection because there were so many in Picard, especially in Picard Season 3. But that is not the only show to have ships in this collection. There are things from a lot of different shows. As you can see, Lower Decks one right here. I'm kind of excited about that. We're going to go ahead and dive into these. We're going to compare them. We're going to show them to you together, show you what comes in these. And if you want to learn more, there's going to be a link in the video description below. Plus, we are still doing our $25 Amazon gift card giveaway. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my other videos. It's as simple as that. If you're a fan of spaceships, science fiction, and gaming, or tabletop miniatures in general, you're in the right place. We talk about all of that stuff here on the channel. Love to have you stick around. Let's get these things open. All right, we're going to start off with the U.S.S. Intrepid. Now, these are all sent out typically one at a time. They are packaged pretty nicely, and there's all kinds of little extras that you can get in these this subscription model as well. Sometimes you'll get like an extra ship placard, but you're also going to get one of these little booklets with every ship. Now, these are going to be a little bit of lore, but they extend beyond the lore of the show. They also go into the lore, into the design of the ship itself. Sometimes it will deal with modeling or certain different versions that predated the ship. It'll also talk to you about where you like designing the Duderstadt class, for example. And it goes into some, you get concept art, you get everything that went into kind of bringing this ship to life. It's a very, very cool set. And you're also going to get a binder that you can put all of these booklets in, so you can have an entire collection. Now, we do have styrofoam, keeping this ship very safe. Every ship also comes with a stand. You're going to get a weighted stand here, and you're going to have one of these that are going to go into the stand. Now, each one of these is slightly different, so you can't really mix and match them as well because they are designed very specifically for each ship that you go in. So this can hold the saucer section here, or sometimes they'll go in and they'll hold some of the parts that connect to the nacelles. And that's all we're going to have in the box. So that's the box there, but then we have the ship here. Now, we're going to look at this. It looks pretty good. But first, before I go into too much detail, we'll show you how it goes into the stand. There we go. And these are also another reason that the stands are customized is that they're weighted, right? This is kind of a heavy paperweight type of base, and it wants to kind of get the center of gravity, and every ship is designed slightly differently. So other ships, it may hold the ship over here or over there, or even maybe on a little bit of an angle to give it the idea that it's flying. And in this one, it is kind of angled slightly upward, so on your shelf, it may look like this a little bit. Let's get a more close-up look at this ship. All right, so here we can see we've got lots of decals, lots of lighting. All of the interior lighting is painted on right here. As you can see, a lot of that, different paint applications. These are going to be all really nicely applied decals as well, where it says U.S.S. Intrepid, NCC 79520. Our nacelles here are going to have a clear acrylic. So this is, or a clear plastic, basically, that is going to kind of give them the ability to catch the light a little fancy and kind of give them a kind of a glow effect, whereas other parts are going to have their effects painted on right here and here. And if we go underneath there, they don't skimp on the details on the underside either. And the cool thing about this is this is something you can definitely pick up and display, but it's also something I think you're going to want to pick up and hold in your hands and look at, and maybe have some of these in your office at work, or maybe in your on the mantle, or maybe in your garage, or wherever you kind of keep your memorabilia and stuff like that. As a big fan of starships, this one is very cool. Next up, it's going to be the U.S.S. Harlan. Now, this one is a smaller ship design. It doesn't have the widespread, like the wide or the long body that you kind of expect from a lot of like Enterprise style ships, like Enterprise and Excelsior, Constitution class, Galaxy class ships. This one is, kind of has the nacelles tucked underneath, which it does kind of give me like Nebula class vibes. It's kind of like the modern version of that. Now, the box says USS Harlan. This says USS Edison. So I don't know if this one was it's Edison class. Maybe a lot of times with the class of a ship, the very first one is named after the actual ship. Like the very first Galaxy was the USS Galaxy, and so on and so forth. So wouldn't surprise me. This says the USS Edison. Now this says USS Edison. So I really want to see on the ship itself if it says USS Harlan. It says Harlan there on the picture. So now we've got a little mystery on this one. This is going to be an interesting one. All right, let's go ahead and get this one open. We do have our base here and that part here. And as we pull it out, again, much shorter, fatter ship. It does say USS Harlan. So that is an interesting, I don't know if that's a misprint or just a decision that was made kind of late in production. But there we go. It does say Harlan. All right, so as we look closer, we can see it does say USS Harlan, NCC 52277. We do have lots of other decals alongside with the registry number. I think the side view is important for this one because it is very, very narrow when you look at it from this side. The nacelles are very slim. It has a very aerodynamic feel to it. Like I feel like if this thing were to fly in atmosphere, it would be able to catch a lot of air, which would help it to do that. I don't know if that's part of the ship. I haven't read through the entire book yet. I'm not sure a lot of the purpose of this class. Also, our main deflector here does have this kind of blue clear plastic that does catch the light from underneath, and you can see it kind of reflecting on the saucer section below there, which is normally regular plastic, right? So, but it's very, very cool effect there, how these kind of extrude and they're not necessarily embedded inside the material. So a pretty cool design choice that went into this one. Also, this one for its particular stand, it clips on to these rear ports of the main body here, and you can see it kind of holds like so. So this one will be up. Now you can do some weird stuff with it, like you can put it this way if you wanted to. It's not really designed to hold it that way, so it's going to be a little bit loose. But generally, it looks like it's supposed to go this way, which gives it the most. There we go. Let me not hold it in the air while I'm doing it. That's going to give it the most secure fit right there. All right, next up, we're going to be looking at the U.S.S. Excelsior. Now, of course, this is a very famous name, as made famous during the original series and the movies, and Captain Sulu, pilot, of course, taking the command of the U.S.S. Excelsior. But this is the version that we see in Picard, which should be a very impressive ship. I am always like looking at Excelsior class vessels. I think we have another Excelsior that they sent earlier. I'm not sure if it's exactly the same ship. If this is, I think this is a resend, because this is one that they had sent earlier, and I think there might have been something wrong with it, and they were made good on saying, hey, we're going to send another version of the Excelsior. I didn't have any issues with the old Excelsior, but maybe there was a registry number or something that was like misprinted or something like that, and they just wanted to make it right, so they sent everybody a new Excelsior, which is cool. But we'll go ahead and take a look at it again, since this is another one. We've got I don't know if this one goes this way or the other way. I think it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, right? And this one, I believe it goes in right here, like that. But this is definitely a very long ship. And we do have our book here for the Excelsior. That's going to Excelsior 2 class. So we get plenty of information there on it. All right, so as I look a little closer, I don't really see a whole lot of differences between this and the last Excelsior that they sent me. It had the same registry number. But yeah, no, I don't know what the issue was, but they both look great, and this one looks great as well. If you want to compare this and check out the old Excelsior unboxing that I have, I'll just certainly go into more detail on it there. But again, we have our nacelles here with our clear plastic in there, also the red bits in the front, We have lots of great paint applications all over the thing. It looks beautiful. This is one of my favorite ships from the collection because it's so narrow. It kind of stands out amongst the rest. It looks very good on a stand as well. And last up, it's the U.S.S. Archimedes. If you haven't seen Lower Decks, it is a great show. It's one of those that I was reluctant to watch at first because I was like, really, is this going to be too silly for Star Trek? And came out to find out that it was really a love letter to Star Trek. It was absolutely became an instant classic for me, and absolutely love it. Now, while this is not a California class, this is not the Cerritos. This is another one of the ships that we did see in the show. All right, so this is NCC 83002, and we're going to get a little bit of information about this. It's an Obina class, and it looks, at first glance, it looked a little bit like it was an Excelsior class. I mean, it does have the Enterprise B sort of bottom there. You know, it looks a little reminiscent of that. It looks kind of got the big boat bottom. And it is kind of long, and it does have similarities, for sure, to the Excelsior class, but it is not. And notably, it's the nacelles that are a little bit more resemblant or reflective of like the Enterprise E. So it's kind of like a hybrid between what Sovereign class I think the Enterprise E was. It looks like it's got like a Sovereign class's nacelles with an Excelsior class's body. Is I guess how I would kind of describe this one at a glance. Not as much detailing on the top section here. But we'll zoom in and take a closer look at that. Let's see how it fits on the stand there. It goes like so. So as we look up close, we can see there's you do have your decals, you do have your name, and of course your registry numbers. But it seems like there's a little bit less, like it's a lighter gray. It's a little bit less, like you don't see the lighting very much outside of maybe the bridge section right there. A little bit less detail on this one, and I don't know if that's maybe reflective because of the fact that it was in an animated series, so it would have been portrayed differently there, but it looks like it stands out a little bit. One thing I do like is the Starfleet, like the gold communicator badge decal on the bottom. I think that's a really nice touch. Again, I'm digging the body of the ship. We've got detailing in the deflector dish there. We've got a lot of detailing on the bottom. The bottoms of these ships always have a lot of detail, so that's another one of the reasons you're going to want to be able to pick these up with ease. And that's one of the things that makes the stands really good, is that you can always pick them up and look at them in closer detail. Again, we have our blue clear plastic there, and then on the front bits we have the red, which really do help it catch the light. You want to put these in an area where they're going to catch some of that light and really make them shine. All right, and now, as promised, here are all of the ships alongside each other. You can see that the Archimedes and the Excelsior are both very long and narrow, which kind of contrasts them against the other ships. Now, these aren't all to scale with each other. They are in a relative scale that kind of just puts them so that they all kind of fit on the same size base. So this might be a much smaller ship compared to this if they were in a 1-to-1 scale with each other. But you can see how much wider as a model it is with each other. For example, if they were to make the Defiant would probably have been about as big as this, as opposed to actually being, much smaller than just the saucer section of one of these other ships. Because again, they want them to be displayed correctly alongside each other, and that's kind of the purpose with all of that. Big thanks to Fanhome for sending these out. These were sent out for review, so if you want to check out a subscription to your own official Starships collection, we're going to have a link down in the video description below. It's a big year for Star Trek. We're going to be talking a lot more Star Trek. The first Star Trek spoiler for Magic the Gathering got posted already. It's a Captain Kirk. We'll probably talk about that here pretty soon, because I'm a huge Star Trek fan. Plus, we have new Star Trek Into the Unknown stuff coming out. A lot more Star Trek to discuss on the channel, so make sure you stick around for that. I will thank you so much for watching. Big thanks to my patrons as well. You guys are absolutely amazing, and you guys help make this whole channel possible. I will talk to you later. May the Force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. So say we all, and always wash your sides.